guys, thank you for joining me. So today I'll be showing you how to cut this asymmetric dress using dart manipulation. So I already made this tutorial before. I posted it on YouTube and a lot of you complained that it's not clear. Yeah, this is it. So this is my body. So before you get your full front, so this is the bodies for the full front. So I'll be emphasizing on the front alone because that is where the asymmetric and the dart manipulation design is, right? So this is my front. So all you need to do is to draft your bodies from waist to hip. Draft your full front. Mark out your dart lines. This is my bust line, this is my bust dart, and this is the waistline. So you get your tracing. We trace out these lines. You trace it out, all your lines. You trace to the hem. After tracing, you open up. So you can see the way I folded it. I placed my paper on fold. I folded it into two, and then I trace. So when you trace, you flip it over to this other side. The trace line will be visible for you to see. So you use your ruler and then to mark out your line. So this is how I got my full front. So for when you're doing that manipulation most times, and this for a style like this, you need your full front. Okay, so this is my full front for the up and the down. So we'll be separating them as time goes on, but let's start off with the front. So this is my center front. You can see the crease line. So this is my neckline. So let me use a ruler to draw a straight line. So I'm going to stop around the waistline. Okay, so now I will be coming in 1 inch. Now before I continue, I want you to know that my dart for the bust will be closed and this will be closed for the up, where for the down part will also eliminate it from the side. So from your center front, you mark your 1 inch in. So depend on how wide you want it. Okay, if you want it if you want everything here to be like about 2 inches, then you do 1 inch here, 1 inch here. But if you want everything here to be about 1 inch, you do 0.5. So everything here around my neckline. So before I continue, please, you should come down on your neckline if you want a lower neckline or you want it wider. So mine is a high neck and everything is just the same, the original body. So I didn't alter the neckline. Okay, so I'll come in here 1 inch and then I'll come in here 1 inch. Okay, so after doing this, now you determine where you want your slant, like the center piece, I'm using two fabric here, the black and the lemon color. So the center part, okay, so I want it to be around this side. Okay, so this is my dart. Remember, I'll be closing this dart. So from here I will just come in from this my dart leg here. I'll mark 1 inch here. So this is my 1 inch. Let me use a different color pen. No, because I don't want my pattern to be rough, so I will be using my pencil to I will mark out my design using a dotted line. So from here I'll use, so anything you're doing when you are doing your dart manipulation, make sure your lines, whatever it is, touches your bust point, because we'll be closing it. So this is going to touch this bust point, and then it's going to come in an oval shape, and then to this 1 inch here. Okay, and then this also will touch the bust point here and then come straight like this. Okay, so if you're okay with what you have, then you can now use your pencil. You can now use your clef, but I'm not okay, so I'm still going to do it some more. I want your curve ruler, if you want to, make sure it's touching my bust point. So this is my bust point, and then I'll connect it. This is where it's supposed to end, not here. So this is my 1 inch, so this will come this way. Sorry guys, so it's going to end there. So I'll have like 1 inch. I'll have like 1 inch space here, so it's not a straight line. So I just remembered now. So this is going to end here. Okay, so this is my dotted line and it's going to end here. Okay, so my curve is going to end on this second leg of my dart. Okay, yeah, and then I'll come over to this side, and then I'll repeat the same thing from my bust point. Okay, so it's going to come this way. So this is what we have. So you can see where it ends. It stops at my waistline 1 inch. So this part here is going to be my black material, my black fabric. Okay, so now what you can also do now, remember we'll be closing this dart. Okay, so but before we close this, I'll like to close this one first. Okay, before I close the dart, so I would like to draw out my design also for the down part. Okay, so like we did using our dotted line, our pencil, so I will use my pencil also to mark out my design. Okay, so right, okay, then on this second part here, this second leg, then you will now come this way. So once you're okay, like I said, once you're okay, you can now trace out. But if you're not okay, that is why you should use your pencil. Okay, that's why I'm using pencil in the first place, to just mark out my design. Okay, so this is what I have. So ignore the dart leg, guys. Ignore the dart leg. I hope you can see. So it may not be very clear, but I'm going to use my ruler to trace the lines out. Okay, so I will so it can be very clear for you to see. So if the ruler is not working, just use your hand to follow the design. After all, you didn't use ruler to create the design in the first place. So this should go into the skirt. Okay, so this is for this. So all right, and then from this other part you continue this way. So this is one piece and this is one piece. Okay, so for the dart, let's start with the up part. Okay, so this part will be black fabric, black crepe, and then this will be black, this will be black. We're still going to maintain our base. Okay, so this is my up and this is the down part. Okay, so this will be black and this will be lemon. Why the base of this will be lemon, why this part will be black and this part will be black. Okay, so we'll start closing the dart now. So before closing, I would like to cut out my pattern. Remember, we've not added seam line, we've not added our seam allowance. Okay, so I'll cut out my pattern to have a single piece. Okay, so guys, this is what you have after cutting. So from my shoulder to my, so ensure you drop to the length you want it to get to. So for we to close the bust dart, you have to open this line. Okay, so I'll open this part here. I'll start from here. So I need you to pay attention to this part. So this is where that manipulation starts from. Okay, and then I will cut one of these lines here, and then I'll close this, you can see my bust dart from here to here is my bust dart. So I'll take this part and I'll close it here. Once I close it, this part is going to open up, and then I'll tape it down, and I'll do the same to this other part also. Now stop on the bust point, and I'll open one of the dart legs. So feel free to open any of the dart leg. All you need to do is just to have one part open so you can close, and then I'll close. Oh, you're not supposed to cut through. And I'll tape it down. So my dart has been closed. So the dart now is in here. This is where the dart is. Okay, so I want to cut out my waistline. You know it's separated, so I'll separate my waist, the up from the down part. Because if you've not done this design, it will be a bit technical and a little bit confusing. So it's better you do this design before you separate your waist. Okay, so we'll be closing our waist dart before proceeding to the skirt part to close our waist dart. Okay, so for the waist, for this now, this is where this is where the back piece is going to end. Okay, so this is it. I want to close my bust dart, so I'm going to start from here. My waist dart, sorry. Okay, so this is my waist dart from here to here. So what I will do is I'll close it like this. You can see I've closed it, and then I'll use my masking tape to tape it down. It's that simple. Okay, so you can see that our lines is still the same. So this is where this black 1 inch, so I'll measure from here to here and then redraw again. So you can see the 1 inch. So this is 1 inch. Then I can use my pencil again to connect it. Yeah, so what I'll do now is I use my curve ruler or my freehand, and then I'll connect it to this point. Yeah, so this is no more in use because after closing our dart, it has shifted. So this is now a new line. Okay, all right. Okay, so having done that, we'll now move straight ahead to close this other one. So this one is simple. This one, there is no too difficult thing. All you need to do is just to cut one of the dart leg to the bust point. Remember, everything is stopping at the bust point. Even the first one stop at the bust point. Okay, so it has cut. You're not supposed to cut through. So I'll just use this part to close the dart, and voila, we are done. So we've closed our dart leg, our waist dart. So everything is now in here. You can see our dart. You can see how wide this thing is. So when you sew, you still have that your bust, that bust effect. That effect it gives you when you the bust dart effect. It will still be there. So this one is different from just cutting freehand and then using your pencil to just mark. So you can see. So now what I need to do next is to cut out this design. So we'll have my black piece. So this is my side front one, this is my mid, side front 2, and this is 3. Okay, so I will just follow the black my black line curve, and then I'll cut this out. Now we are cutting to the bust point. You are cutting out entirely, and we'll come to this part. We'll continue. And yes, we have our pattern pieces. So for this center front here, this bust point that is pointing, you can blend. Okay, you can blend it so you don't have it all pointing out, right? You don't have it all pointing out, so you can see. So this is lemon black, and then you can now start joining. So when you're joining, when you cut, please endeavor to add seam allowance. Okay, It's very, very important. So you have your actual measurement. If you don't add seam allowance, it will be smaller. It will no longer fit. So you're adding seam allowance on your shoulder, on your neckline, on this part here down. Then for the side, if you are doing 1 inch, you add 1 inch, and then on this part also you add your seam. Same with this other part here. So we are done with this. So okay, let me say this. So you can do now the finishing. You can decide if you want to do a lining, so you use these pieces to cut your lining. But if you're not doing lining, I did facing. So what I did, so 2 things that you can do before you cut it. Before you alter this pattern, you can take your pattern paper, place on your fabric, and then trace your facing just from a part of your shoulder just a little bit down your neckline, and then you cut it. So that will be your facing for the neckline. It doesn't need to come down, just a little piece. Okay, you know how you cut facing. I know facing, it's not a problem. If you're doing lining, you're cutting everything completely. And if it's going to be confusing you, what you can do is to join everything together and then take this your fabric, place it on another fabric, and then you cut your facing. All right, so move straight to the down. So what we'll be doing for the down, it's quite easy. So we are almost done. So this is our 1 inch. Okay, using our dart leg for this, so but eliminating our dart from the side. So what you will need to do is to measure your dart, and then measure your dart. So the dart leg is how many? 6 inches. So I'll measure 6 inches, and I'll measure 6 inches. So this is one easy way to eliminate your dart. There is a more professional way, so that will be a different video entirely. When I have the time, I'll try. When I remember, I'll show you how to eliminate your dart not from the side. That's the professional way of eliminating your dart. Okay, so you just connect this way, and then I'll connect this way, and I'll cut it out. So after cutting, so we now have our dartless skirt. Okay, so for the back, please sew the dart for the back. Okay, please sew that for the back. So because this is the front, and we don't want any dart line on the skirt part. Since we've closed we moved the dart on the upper part. Okay, so this is it, guys. So this is what you have. So after eliminating your dart, now you see that if it doesn't really match, so what you can do now is to place your pattern pieces. You can see what I did here now. So what I did here, this is my pattern piece, so it didn't match. So I should have measured. What I would have done, I would have eliminated the dart. So correction, what you need to do so you don't make the same mistake I made. So I would have eliminated the dart from the beginning. Measure your dart that you are eliminating, then you now measure from there to this place. So that is where you connect it from. So I didn't do that. I just use now you can see that. So this is how it's supposed to be. You can see my dart is now here. So this is where my dart is. So I didn't factor in that. I didn't remember that I'm going to close my dart from the side. Why this one? We didn't eliminate the dart from the side, from the middle. So what I would have done is to measure from here, from what I have here, and then start measuring from here. Then I will now draw my design. I hope that is clear. So that is the correction. I don't want to leave this the way it is. Okay, so I'm going to correct it now that I've made the mistake. So what I'm going to do now is this now is going to start from here like this. So let me use my pencil again. So this will be a bit, it will be a bit rough, guys, but I'm sorry. Okay, so this is it. So instead of this now, this is no longer our line. So this will now be our new line. Okay, and then please, when you are making yours, please don't forget to remember the dart leg. So this second line, because now these two black are supposed to match, they're supposed to align. So this now is going to start from here, and then so I will use another pen, color pen entirely, so it will be very, very clear. This is my new, so you can see that I'm matching it up, guys. So it's going to match up. If you don't do this, it's going to, so what I would have done, I wouldn't have even traced it out in the first place. So I would have just used my pencil and leave it like that, after which I'll now, so you can do that so you don't make the same mistake. So from here, so this is now my new design, curve design. Okay, so this is my new, instead of the black now we are now using purple. So this is my new design. So it's going to be like this. Then my 1 inch, remember, is 1 inch from here to here is 1 inch, and then this is going to come this way. Yeah, so you can see the thin line between both. So there is a thin line, both are not meeting. So why this is this. So yeah, we are back and we are correct. This is correct now. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. So now what I will be doing is to trace. So I'll get a plain sheet of paper and I will trace this out. So what I'll be tracing now is this purple line. I'm going to follow this purple line to this side. I'm going to stop here. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. So I'll trace this. So I'll have one single, and then I'll trace this also, and I'll have, so I'll have one, and I'll have two. Okay, so let me trace it out. And then remember, we are, this down part, we are having 3 pieces. For the front is 3, the down is 3. So this down, before you, that is why you don't have to cut. Okay, you don't have to cut it out straight away. But if you want to cut to save your pattern paper, just fold it this way, place on your fabric, fold your fabric, unfold, place your fabric, unfold, and then you place, add your seam allowance. Then whatever allowance you add at the top, the side, that is what you add to the side of the skirt. Okay, so you add your seam allowance down. After adding your seam allowance, you cut it, then after which you will now come down and then cut this out and cut this out. So this is one simple way. So what I did, I just assumed this is my fabric and I cut it, I folded it and I cut. So this is my fabric, so this is my lemon color. And now what I will do for this is to slash cut out my design. So from here I'm going to cut this side out. So remember, we'll not add seam allowance, so all seam allowance will be added on your fabric. Okay, so this is one piece, and then I'll be cutting this other part now. So guys, this is what we have. All right, so you can see this is my black base, my black. So this will be black, this will be lemon, and this will be lemon. Okay, so let me show you. You can see how it is. So this is what we have, and then this, you can see how it's aligning now, and then this you can see, and then this will be here. So what you need to do is to join from this part here. What we have, guys, so make sure when you are joining, now let me say that you can see this part, it's a little bit, if you're not careful, you may likely start sewing from here. So please don't start sewing from here. This is where you have to start sewing from. Okay, so this is where our 1 inch, so you have to start joining from here. So this is going to start from here. Okay, so this place is going to be our black fabric. Okay, so use black to cut this, and then this will be black and this will be black. So after joining this, you join this together, you join this, then after which you can now join. So what you can do is to join the sides of this and then join the side. But let me say that you need to use facing. So I use black for this. Now you are cutting two. So this, you are not just going to leave the edge like that. That's why you're adding seam allowance. You cut two of this, you cut two of this, and you use this, the black that you use to cut this, your base black, that is what you use to turn your lemon. You use to turn this one. So the lining for this, you are using the line. That is why you should use a light crepe. Your lining will be what you use to turn this. Okay, so after turning it, you can now place and then match it together, and then sew the side, join this, and then make sure this black matches with this side. So this place now should be plain black. Okay, then this will match with this, and this will match with this. So what I'm saying is this will match together. After sewing, this will match, and then this will match with this. So let me show you the finished one that I made. So you can see the lining that I used. So I used, this is a light crepe, so the crepe is not that thick. I used the crepe and then I folded the edge. You can see the facing. I used the lemon mat fabric for the facing, and then this is the, so you can see after turning what you need to do. So when you turn, so you can also use your hem gum, place it on it and iron it so it can be very, very flat. So you can see, so this one will go into it and it will end, and then this will end somewhere here. Okay, so this is it, guys. Make sure you can see that it's supposed to end here and then this here. Okay, so make sure yours matches perfectly. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. So this is the back. You can see my dart for the back. There is that at the back. The down part also you can also do with the that I eliminated the back that, so you can also sew the back that. So what you can do also, you don't need to separate the back. You can just cut along, just like we cut the first one before separating the waist. So you can decide not to separate the waist for the back, so your back will be straight, so your dart will be straight, and then the front alone will have the joining. Okay, so thank you, guys. I hope you got value. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and I hope this video is clearer than the first one. Thank you so much.